Welcome to Grow Overload. I'm Anthony, and AMD had some news today, both good and bad. The bad is the delay in the 3950X release, but the good is we get a little bit more information about the next gen Threadripper. Let's start out with AMD's delayed news, which is their 3950X, the Ryzen 9 3950X, that it will be now delayed until November. And here's AMD's statement on it. We are focusing on meeting the strong demand for our third generation AMD Ryzen processors in the market and now plan to launch both the Ryzen 9 3950X and initial members of the third generation AMD Threadripper processor family in volume this November. We are confident that when enthusiasts get their hands on the world's first 16-core mainstream desktop processor and our next generation of high-end desktop processors, the wait will be worth it. And so from that, I kind of just take it that, right now AMD's had a really tough time selling the 3900X. Well, not tough time as in they can't, they're just sitting on shelves. A really tough time as in they're flying off the shelves so fast they can't keep them in stock. And that's a good problem to have for AMD, a bad problem for us consumers that want the 3900X. And this is, I think, to me, this is just I see this as, if one, AMD wants to make sure that that BIOS gets out to all motherboard manufacturers and gets pushed out in all the boards that they are going to be supporting for the third generation Ryzen, so that that boosting clock speed is pretty much fixed as well in these processors. So when they come out with that 3950X, that is fixed. And then AMD wants to make sure that there is stock on the shelves when they put this 3950X out. That 16 core will be available for people and enthusiasts that want it. Right? If you're not looking for a 3950X, you can go out there and get the 12 core on down. But if you are, you're going to have to wait a little bit longer. And that is the downside to it. We were expecting September, and now it's not going to be there. We got another 2 months to wait. I'm guessing they're going to probably be mid to late month on that release. Maybe early, but if they're trying to vie for another 2 months, they're probably going to want to get as much stock as possible in, and they're probably going to put it to later of the month. That's just my gut feeling on that. They want to make sure that stock is there. And if there's any truth to the Taiwanese semiconductor having a basic delay because there's so much demand for that 7 nanometer, that could play into this as well. AMD just had a statement that they're not affected by it. I'm guessing a lot of their orders are already through, and so by having that through, they're probably trying to get as much in there, get all the chips binned where they need to be by this November time frame. And maybe demand for the 3900X was a little much higher, I'm guessing, than what they even anticipated, with having the supply constraints and people just buying them and then selling them for really high prices again elsewhere. So they have to deal with that as well. They're probably trying to get the 3900X out there in volume so people can actually just buy it from these retailers rather than being scalped through eBay or whatever else. So time will tell to see how this all irons out, but that's just what I'm seeing with this whole 3950X, is they want to make sure that they have enough stock. I'm guessing I think it's a multitude of things. They probably have higher demand what they were anticipating. There's probably higher Epic sales than they were anticipating. So it might just be a cascading effect that, hey, we got higher sales here, we got higher sales here, and we're just going to have to kind of push this and push this back. Threadripper now, maybe they wanted it early in the quarter, but now it's going to be here. And notice how they said with the first releases, with the initial lineup of that Threadripper lineup, my guess is that they're also going to have a scaled down Threadripper lineup at the start and then release more later. And probably for the same reasons, demand is really high, and yeah, that's going to be just the kind of the waterfall effect that happens when all this, when you have higher than anticipated. Now, for financials side of things, this could be really good for AMD, and only time will tell to see where the sales are all coming from. And plus, you have to get ready here. At some point, they're going to be manufacturing for the consoles at some point too, so they got to get that 7 nanometer stuff as well ready. So there's going to be a lot of moving parts here for AMD, and they're kind of starting to hit on all cylinders a little bit. Yeah, there was this delay here with 3950X, but I'm kind of impressed. Where's Intel? Time will tell. They tell us, they're going out with, we got the 9900KS, the 5 gigahertz on all cores, and they got, oh yeah, we're going to be cutting down performance, or price per performance is going to be coming down to be better than what Threadripper is. But then here's what AMD also released on Twitter, which is an announcement from the creators of AMD Ryzen and EPYC, the third generation Threadripper. So premiering with 24 cores. So my interpretation of that is, hey, your 24 cores there, that's going to be your baseline Threadripper. And Lisa Su said, if we move up the mainstream, we're going to have to move up the the workstation products, the high-end desktop. So that would make sense. Okay, we're going to move them up to 24 cores. Great. I like that option. So now we're going to have 24 cores. Hopefully AMD brings that price down. You never know what, it's roughly about $1,200 or so right now for a 24 core Threadripper. What happens if that comes down about $200, $250, maybe put it right around $1,000? That's going to be really enticing, especially for a person like me, as long as it's compatible with my X39 motherboard, to drop that in. And that's what I'm kind of excited about. They're saying, there's leaks of how much better the performance is. And I see that as, now you don't have the communication chip to chip for the I/O. That's all handled by one chip now, kind of like EPYC is. So you get that benefit plus huge caches as well. So there's going to be just an immense amount of benefit with these new Threadrippers. Yeah, 24 cores is more cores. For me, I'm on a 16 core first gen, but getting that performance and getting that better, 7 nanometer, higher clocked, etc., could be really kind of something that people are going to want to upgrade to. Now, I do hope that Intel comes in there with what they say, which is lower prices and still better price performance to kind of compete with these as well. And that's going to be great because I do like to build both systems. At my job, I do build both. I build an Intel and an AMD for a lot of systems. I got another 5 systems I got to build here soon. And the reason why I do it is I want to see the performance on both, and so that both are supported well. And that's kind of why we do it. But if Intel's not going to have that price performance done, it makes it a lot harder to where you're going to be spending your money, right? You can't get as much compute performance for your dollar. And at the end of the day, a lot of us want to have the best performance we can for our dollar, right? We need to have that balance. So we'll see where Intel kind of goes from here. I'm kind of excited to see how they respond. Hopefully they come out swinging and they get something out there, but I'm not too optimistic until like 2020, 2021, when I'm hoping that they get some other stuff out there, either in 10 nanometer or 7 nanometer, where they're going to be, right? There's a lot on their plate, and they got to kind of situate out and respond to where AMD is now and where AMD will be, because I don't think they were anticipating Threadripper and Ryzen success like they have, or even EPYC success at this point in time. So that's a little bit about my thoughts on this whole AMD Ryzen and AMD Threadripper stuff. It's pretty exciting here. The delay was kind of a downer on that, but I think that they're just trying to get situated for having a better release and a better stock for those 16 core mainstreams. And I think the Threadripper is just going to come. They're going to have different stacks now. They did have different motherboards that they're talking about. There's rumors about TK40 and a TK80 for 4 channels and 8 channels respectively. I'm really hoping that the old X399 still support that 4-channel CPU, so that we can still be able to do that and throw that into our current X399 motherboards. That'd be great support, and AMD has really shown a lot at being able to support older boards for a longevity of time. Hopefully Intel takes that out of their book as well, so that we can have boards that last for a period of time. I know I've already had the machine upstairs. I already thrown a 2nd generation and a 3rd generation in there from my little media center, and I could even see it. I gave my parents that B450. I could even see giving them or upgrading them to like a 4000 APU if that ever came out and was supported in there. So that longevity there through Ryzen has a real benefit. I've already used that benefit as well. So hopefully Intel does that as well. But let me know what your comments are on this release. Let me know if you're disappointed in that 3950X delay. Let me know what you expect out of Threadripper here as well. I do expect to have a nice boost, and it's something I'm going to be looking at here to go into my system. Who knows? It's, you know, something else to spend money on, and yeah, but that is something there. But so that's just what my thoughts are. But leave your comments below, and I do want to thank you guys here. I'm still going through family stuff here, so I'm trying to get videos out as often as I can. I'm going to try to situate my schedule a little bit better so I can do 2 a week, and I'm going to try to shoot for that. I know 1 a week I can pretty much do. I do have to juggle some things, but I'm trying to iron it out to give you guys some more content throughout the week. I'm really hoping that there's supposed to be some stuff coming in here, and I'm pretty excited about it. So I'm really hoping that that comes in here, and we can actually get some more content on this channel. I did give my parents that computer. I only forgot one thing: their monitors, and they didn't have a DVI cable, which they needed, and they didn't have a display port to VGA adapter, which I just purchased for them as well. It's easier for me to purchase for them. They're coming down to help me out a little bit this weekend, so that's great. I need the help, so I do appreciate that. But let me know what you guys what you guys are. Leave comments below, and I do want to say God bless and thank you guys for watching, helping support this channel. I really appreciate it. And until next time, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.